Okay everyone, the Dark Train here, just giving you guys a little bit of my opinion on Infinite Warfare and Titanfall 2. After having played both games, I have some opinions, and you may not agree with these opinions, but this is just my opinion of the two games. So I've cut back and forth between Infinite Warfare multiplayer and Titanfall multiplayer. Now both are kind of similar. They have a futuristic setting. You can slide around, you can move around corridors as usual, but there are some key differences. They're not the same game. As a matter of fact, they are designed completely differently. Now this is basically for people that are kind of sitting on the fence about which game to get. And I was fortunate enough to get two games, so I have them both, so I don't have that problem. But I have to be honest, the difference is if you're shopping on a budget or if you're shopping for kids or Christmas, you definitely want to pick one game that the kids are going to come back and keep playing. Now granted, it's not just kids that play these games, adults like myself play these games. So there is key differences in these games that I wanted to point out, and I'll let this play out for a minute so you can kind of see. One thing I have noticed is the level design. The levels are very in this particular game, Infinite Warfare, the levels are pretty cool looking. I mean, they have a very claustrophobic corridor and bulkhead kind of feel. Which is fine for shooter games. That's what you want. But there is something about it that just kind of feels very linear and almost like a maze in a way that you are kind of stuck in. Flipping over to Titanfall 2, just the opening gives you a sense of anticipation and a little bit of an opening feel. So you kind of get to see the world as you're jumping into it. And it just looks bigger, looks a little bit more well designed. One thing that is cool is that you do have grappling hooks. You can move around. Now granted, I haven't gotten very high level on either one of the games, so I don't know all the mobility features that Call of Duty Infinite Warfare would have. But right out of the gate, you can see the graphical difference of the games, and just the I don't know, the weapons feel heavier, the sounds feel heavier in Titanfall 2. I think one thing that is interesting of note is that this game has two elements about it. You basically have the basic first-person shooter aspects, which are still pretty good, but you've also got some aspects of a mech, which means you can run around as a big robot and blow stuff up. Basically first-person shooter, but the camera's a little bit higher because you're standing in a, a 15 or 20 foot tall robot or whatever. Probably bigger than that, but just, guessing. But yeah, that's one of the key differences right there. So what I find is that of these two games, right now, I'm having a little bit more fun playing this one, Titanfall 2. It just, now this gameplay is kind of boring because people are capturing hard points. They're not really running around shooting each other. But we will get to that soon. Infinite Warfare does have some problems, but only problems for somebody like myself who's been playing first-person shooters actually since Modern Warfare. And I have to say, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 4, which I don't have any clips of this on there, I don't need to, is a fun game. It's still fun. I played that recently, and it was like riding an old bike. It was really fun. But I realized that back then, I was a younger player, perhaps, and I didn't really care too much about strategy and quality. I just wanted to shoot stuff. It all just comes down to personal preference and what you consider fun. How much fun can you have with this kind of game which is weak, or a game which is superior, in my opinion? I'm not saying there's not enjoyment that cannot be found in these games, don't get me wrong, but This game just seems like you get 3 kills, you get the UAV, and then you hide. Wait for the next UAV, get 3 kills, hide, you know, get a kill streak and get, you know, some kills on the map that are kind of, you know, strange. And this, you know, this particular match, not a lot happened. Just, you know, I was playing horribly, obviously, but I didn't get used to the flow of the game, apparently. Now, granted, if I keep at it, I'm sure I'll get better games going. And this is a key difference as well. The end of the game doesn't have any play, it's just a replay. You get back to Titanfall, look at the graphics. I mean, look at the level design. It's not just flat areas, you actually move around. Now, the only thing I think would be cooler is if they kind of had that Battlefield 1 thing where you can blow up, you know, some areas. And maybe they'll introduce that in future maps, who knows. But that would probably require an update to the game and a patch or something to do that. You know, running on a wall here where you should, or running on a ceiling here where you should slide around, but you get over here and it just feels larger. There's a lot more going on. And you know, here's a major difference right here. You know, it's kind of a gimmick, but if you look at it, you get to get inside a mech. It doesn't put you in God mode, but it definitely changes the strategy of the game a little bit.
A's amped. Nice work. Stand by for Titanfall. Enemy captured C.
Pilot on board. Welcome back.
B captured. Enemy amp C. Capture it. B is amped. Nice work.
Titanfall 2 is the better game, so if you're sitting on the fence, pick that one up, and thanks for watching.
Titans, keep focus. You're taking critical damage. Advise taking cover.
Enemy amp B. Capture it.